Hi everyone, so today I'm going to make an apple cinnamon soap, and I'm going to incorporate some goat milk because I just thought goat milk sounded really luscious with the apple and cinnamon for fall. So the first thing I need to do is add in my goat milk. I just like to get the milk in there ahead of time. Goat milk is just so creamy. I think they're all creamy milks, but you know. I'm going to add in my color now. I'm using some copper mica. It's probably going to hang out with us a lot for the fall season. So I'm thinking here about the, the cinnamon look, and copper does a pretty nice job without kind of having the too dark brown of tone. It's more reddish. It's not red, but it's red tones, if you know what I'm saying there. I think that looks good. Gonna add in the lye solution. Does have some liland in there, but it's freshly made, so I'm not concerned about it. Between the goat milk and this fragrance, it's very possible that this is going to really accelerate. So I probably should get my mold in here now. Alright, so let's add in. It smells so good. Hopefully it doesn't rice or anything. Looking good. Now, depending on what it does here, I may do something more fun with the top layer. I just kind of have to see what happens to see if I have enough time to play around. So far it's looking good. It's not really, it's not even at a trace yet. You can see kind of the swirls from the mica. That's what that is right now, just the mica. Just kind of waiting to see when that fragrance is gonna take hold of this batch. It's starting to trace now. Starting to get a little thicker. I may be okay doing my little design. I do believe so. It is It's kind of hard to see. Well, no, it's not hard to see. So we're at a light trace now, so that's good. Let's pour this thing. Now I don't have the mold exactly even, so I'm probably just going to rough up the edges just a little bit, the surface, so it's not too obvious. So you can see it's getting pretty thick. We're good to get this in there now. Pretty set up. It hasn't been much time at all. You can see pretty rough, tough. That's not even the right word. What am I looking for? Pretty solid anyway. Pretty thick. Hey, thick. That's the one I was going for. So I'm just kind of making divots so that it's quite obvious that it's not supposed to be level. I heard Anne-Marie mention that in her soap making video recently, which I really enjoyed, for lingonberry spice. And I was like, that is exactly right. We do it so it's obvious that we were going for uneven layers and not just what happened. Okay, so I want to do a little prep work on this part before I move on to the following batch to finish it. I'm going to dust it with a gold sparkle mica. Whoa, that was probably way too much. You want enough that you have a nice layer, but not so much that it causes your parts to separate. Whew, yeah, stuff is coming out fast. Oh dear. So I took my heat gun to it just so that it would blow the excess around. And now I'm going to give it a little bit of a soak with the alcohol. The alcohol is going to evaporate out, but this is going to just kind of help set and move around the mica. plenty of time to work with this top portion, so I'm just going to emulsify this for now. It looks nice. I'm going to pour off about 1/3 into this measuring pitcher. Okay, right about where I wanted that one. Into this pot, I want to kind of mix in a red. I don't have my red pigment right now, so I'm a little annoyed about that. But I'm going to use some of this firecracker red, firecracker mica, and a little copper, because that's going to bring in some orange and some depth to it. And maybe we could get by with kind of just a fall reddish orange color. It's gonna try to lighten up to pink, so I'm probably gonna just get it all in there. Wow, that is gorgeous, is it not? And I'm just hoping that the mica, the copper mica, is my insurance policy here. In case it does try to go pink, that it'll take it a little bit more orangey. Okay. So into this one, I'm going to mix up a little bit of gold. And I want a little bit of this honey blush mica, which is turning out to be one of my new favorites. It kind of has a pinky hue to it, but it's still, oh, kind of a tan color. I don't know if you can kind of see down in there, see what that color is. Alright, I like that. Alright, now this is where it could get a little stressful. In fact, I'm just going to mix this in, I think, with the spatula. But I'll have my guy there on standby. Just in case. I just want my mold here ready to go. So let's see, this is a portion of my fragrance oil, and that is the other portion. Of course, I'm already coming to trace here. I'm just gonna stir for a moment. That one is getting a little thicker, but I do still just want to hit this real quick. Okay. Thumpity thumpity thump. Go up high, bring her back down. Going up high, back down. I'm just going to do a quick scrape on this one. I really just want to be able to pour this more than anything. I told myself when I did an apple scent this year that I was not going to do multiple colors, but you know how I am. Can't leave well enough alone. It's getting globular down in this pot. So here we go. You guys just get in here. I'm gonna go smack it down. Sometimes when a soap gets really thick, it can take on the appearance almost like it's ricing. It's just kind of the way it looks sometimes. So that little copper drip look gave me an idea, so I think I know how I'm going to finish this off. And it's going to be beautiful. I do want to smooth it out just a little bit. The drizzle looks nice, but there's some areas I'm wanting to get to here for this time. Okay, I'm just going to smooth it first, and I'll come back. Okay, so now that it's just smoothed in general, I'm going to just kind of create some peaks and valleys. Working with these big molds like this, there's a lot to get accomplished in a little amount of time. There's a lot of surface area. What I wanted to do to complete this batch is just sprinkle on a little bit of some copper mica just with my fingertips. I think that the little drops of mica can be so pretty. Of course, I'll have to be cautious about my spraying with alcohol, so that probably wasn't so smart. But if it smears around a little bit from being sprayed with alcohol, then that's just what happens because of what we're going to do. Kind of does look like a sprinkle of cinnamon, a little thicker, but it's cool. Well, I might be able to start feeling like fall around here. We're a little behind in Missouri when it comes to fall. We don't start really noticing fall-like temperatures till the very end of September and beginning of October. Alright, so I'm going to call that good. Alright guys, I'll see you back here for the cut. Alright, here I am to cut the apple cinnamon soap, and gosh, it sure smells so good. It is just delightful. It's not a super strong, it's just mellow and delightful, and I just love how it turned out. The colors are just right. I am just so pleased with it. And I was able to spray it, and the mica didn't really move around much. This one did really ash. It's that time of year where I'm having a harder time controlling my humidity and temperature. So it definitely makes it more difficult to prevent the ash. But I'm trying. I don't mind it. I don't think this ended up with it too bad. More around the edges of the loaves. A mica line turned out real nice. This is just the perfect fall scent. I love apple cinnamon. That's just one of my favorite scents when it comes to the fall. So I have 4 other loaves cut up, split, ready to be cut, but I'm not going to probably do the cutting. I've got a little air pocket there. So I thought, I'm not even going to bring them all over. They're already sitting where they need to be. I just really like this soap. I just think the copper turned out so nice. And my little reddish blend, which it's more of a pink, you know, but it's kind of a fall pink, so it works. This looks so nice, just kind of cinnamony and appley, and that's what we were going for, you know. So I call this batch quite a success. Oh wow, that was pretty wonky. The line, I mean, very bumpy, very seismic. So it still doesn't feel like fall in Missouri, so I don't know. Maybe it'll feel like fall. Maybe we're just gonna go straight to winter. We did completely skip over spring this year. We just went from cold April to a hot May, and we haven't turned back yet. So hopefully we'll get some nice fall days. Most of the walnut trees have lost their leaves already. They just kind of dry up and fall off. Of course, it was a very hot summer, so this kind of fall in Missouri just isn't necessarily a big thing. A lot of the native trees aren't super gorgeous. I mean, you do get that variation when you look across the hills, and it is pretty. But as far as like, we don't have native maple and stuff like that. Usually have to see those in town. Okay, so here we have the apple cinnamon soap, and it is the first soap kicking off our fall. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.